Om Shri Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Professor Gangadhar Sastry, welcome to New Zealand, as we say here, Kia ora and Sai Ram.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is this your first trip to New Zealand?
Yes.
And how have you been enjoying it so far?
Oh, I'm as comfortable as at home. I'm more comfortable probably.
Swami has called New Zealand New Thailand.
I know that, I heard it from Murli. Yeah. When Swami said it is true.
Absolutely. Sir, I'd like to start at the beginning of how you came to know about Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, the start of that journey that brings you here to be with us today.
Actually, that's a very big story, fascinating story, and sometimes shocking also. Because before going to Swami, you can say I was just like a ruffian, with big mush, big hair, and having always a cigarette packet, 20 gold flake king size cigarette packet, matchbox,
wow.
Going to cinemas every day, moving around on the roads 24 hours in the company of my friends. It was a different kind of style of life. In 79, when I was working in Loyola College in a lean vacancy, suddenly one fine morning my father called me and said, "Your marriage is fixed." I said, "It was a temporary job and you get my marriage fixed. How do I manage a married life?" My job was going to end by March and my father fixed the marriage in February 79. But in here, see, my father was my God. So I said, "Whatever you wish." So I agreed. And then my father performed a marriage. That was so because, see, he was having a lot of debts. To clear off the debts, you can sell away a son in the market in India for a good dowry. So he got plenty of money because my wife comes from a good aristocratic family.
I see.
That was another incident wherein they have got some problem in their family, so the children were not getting married. So they were ready to bid the highest pay and then buy me.
It was a marriage made in heaven.
It looks like that. So I got married. I used to go there. In February 1979, I got married and my job was ending by March 31st.
1 month later.
1 month later. But the college was to pay me April, May, June, summer holidays, full salary they would pay. So I got married. My father-in-law was a very, very rich man and he asked me, "What is your bank balance?" I said, "Maybe some 500 rupees. He said, "500 rupees? How are you going to take care of my daughter?" he said. Then I told my father-in-law, "Who said that I am going to take care of your daughter? It's God who takes care of things." Because I am a firm believer in God. From my very childhood, I am deeply into worshipping God. So my job got over in March. I was relieved. Then I came away to my native place. I was waiting because I have got to get a job. No advertisements at all in the entire summer.
No prospects.
No prospects at all. Suddenly, in the month of April, there was an advertisement in the newspapers. Sri Satya Sai Arts, Science and Commerce College to be started at Prashanthalam required a lot of staff members for all departments.
To be started.
To be started.
Not even started
Not
yet.
even started. They were recruiting to start. The advertisement was given for children to apply for admissions.
Without teachers yet.
Without teachers yet. And so I applied. Somebody said, and he started a junior college also. So I applied for a junior lecturer post and a lecturer post also. I can teach civics at intermediate level. I can teach political science at BA level. So I applied. I was waiting. Meanwhile, whenever I went to my father-in-law's place, which is hardly 1 hour distance from my native place, they were performing bhajans in their house.
Sai Bhajan?
Sai bhajans.
Oh.
Somebody introduced them to Bhagavan Baba, though they never visited Prashant, they never saw Swami. They were performing bhajans on every Monday. My father-in-law somehow, because he was an erudite reader, somebody gave him a lot of books on Swami. He was reading. He was a highly accomplished lawyer. He suddenly went into Swami completely by reading books. And he would suddenly say, because he was very old, he would say, hey, Swami came, come on, arrange a chair, he wants to sit there. People say, where is Swami? You are all hallucinating, they say. No, I saw him here, I think we must put a chair for him. They say, no, this man conked out.
He's lost it.
He completely lost, they were thinking.
Having never seen Swami,
He never
visiting Prashant in Nilayam.
Never saw Swami, and he would say, this advertisement is Swami's making, he wants you to take to Puttaparthi, so you apply. I said, first of all, who is this Swami? Who is Satya Sai Baba? What does he do? Where is Prashant? I don't know anything. It's completely blank. But he forced me to apply, I simply applied. You don't lose much by applying. You spend 10 rupees or 15 rupees, that's all. So I applied. Let me see, the process is a very long one. One fine morning I got a letter asking me to go for interview to be conducted at Bangalore.
For this Sai institution?
Institute to be started at Prashant. The interviews were conducted at Bangalore because summer course was going on.
I see.
So all the candidates would go to Bangalore and they would have darshan of Bhagavan Baba also. And so I said, okay, I will go, let me see. Then I calculated the cost that would there be incurred in traveling all the way to Bangalore. It was too huge an amount. So
Where were you at the time, sir?
I was in West Godavari district in my native place.
In Andhra Pradesh?
In Andhra Pradesh.
And this is in Karnataka, in Bangalore?
This is in Karnataka. It's a very long journey. Where a lot of money to be spent. So I was hesitant to ask my father-in-law to give me for money to travel. I got fixed in my mind, I am not facing the interview. I am not going.
Because of financial reasons?
That's all. I told my in-laws, I am not going. My father-in-law said, no, you are going. I said, I am not going. He said, why? No, it is a very long journey, first of all. Second reason, heavy expenditure. Third reason, you are saying that Bhagavan Baba is a very big gun in the world. So he must already be having a lot of candidates fixed. It's a private college. He would have his own candidates in his college. Why should he go after somebody from West Godavari, some corner? So I will not get this job at all. Because the trend is in private colleges, generally they select already candidates who are known to them. And most of the colleges are established on caste basis.
I see.
Kamma colleges, Christian colleges, Brahmin colleges, things like that.
And so it's a formality. The interview process would have been a formality. That's what you thought.
That's it. It was like that because earlier I faced a number of interviews before getting selected in Loyola College. I was rejected in a number of colleges. Loyola College went on merit. Luckily I got it. Otherwise I wouldn't have been selected in Loyola College also. So I was very reluctant to go and I said, I am not going. My father-in-law said, you are going. Without my knowledge, my father-in-law got my tickets booked.
Train tickets?
Train tickets from Tanuku because Sarkar Express goes via Tanuku to Madras. So he got my ticket booked from Tanuku to Madras. And in Madras, there was one cousin brother-in-law who was related to my father-in-law. My father-in-law got him educated. He was working with MRF, Madras Rubber Factory. He was in a very good position. He told him to book tickets from Madras to Bangalore. So he booked the tickets, everything was set, and they said, you are going to go. I said, I am not going. They said, we booked a ticket. So what? I said, so what? It's not that there is a ticket, I am going to board the train.
So you made it to Madras and you are still trying to back out?
No, even at Tanuku I was not ready to go.
Right.
I am very sure I am not going. Then there was a psychological war, a cold war going on between me and my in-laws, whether he would go or he wouldn't go. I have 6 brothers-in-law. Very strong guys, physically also, 6 feet fellows. They said, we will send you. I said, I'll see how you will send me. So what happened, just before this war began, suddenly there was a cyclone which hit Andhra coast. It's the worst cyclone ever hit Andhra coast in 1979. It is called Divi Taluk cyclone. Divi Taluk. Everything got completely shattered. Machilipatnam got shattered, railway tracks got shattered, roads got shattered, everything. They suspended trains, they suspended buses and everything. That was celebration time for me. Fantastic. Now you need not go. I will see how you will send. There are no trains at all.
It's impossible to even travel.
Even travel. So you can't send me. My father-in-law said, how did this happen? You lose the opportunity of getting a job. I was waiting. And it was hardly 5-6 days before the interview date, there was an announcement by AIR saying the railway tracks are restored and the train begins to run from tomorrow onwards between Kakinada and Chennai.
Sairam, what bad luck
What,
for you.
what a bad luck it was to me. And I got a call from my in-laws place. We are putting you on the train, so you start, immediately come to Tanuku. I said, they are not going to leave me. But at the same time, I have got tremendous respect for my in-laws. In Hindu tradition, you know, as much you love your parents, so much you love in-laws also. They are just like your parents. You can't dishonor them, disrespect them. So I have got great respect. I don't want to hurt the feelings of my father-in-law and mother-in-law. So I said, and my wife on the other hand, newly married, she says, you have to go, you have to get a job, how are we going to live? She's got great self-respect first of all. Said, we must have our own family.
Yes.
So there was pressure from all corners building up.
Yes.
I said, okay, let me go. With a small briefcase with my certificates, I went to Tanuku. And they said, we are going to put you on the train. I said, I have a small request. Said, what? Tomorrow the train starts to go on the track. It was not running for the past 15-20 days. It will be heavily crowded. People will be there on the top of the bogies also.
Yes.
There will be no place for me to get into the train.
Where will I sit?
And if you push me into the train, maybe you will be sacrificing your brother-in-law, newlywed.
Yes.
So don't push
May
me.
not survive.
I may not be there for you. You will lose me. They said, don't tell cock and bull stories. We know we are very big guns.
Last ditch effort to back out.
I tried my best to avoid, but then they took me to railway station. They said, we got a berth for you reserved. Don't worry, we are highly influential. I was waiting on the platform. I saw the train approaching. It was a scary scene, I tell you. I got shocked. People were hanging to all the rails also. So every bogie, there is no place for me to get in at all. I said, what is this happening here? They said, no, don't worry. We will see to it that you board the train somehow or other. This interview is very important to us. You must go to Swami. They started bhajans. Maybe, I don't know what Swami was making from behind. So, when the train stopped in the station, through the window of a bogie, they literally pushed me inside. They threw me with my briefcase and said, get lost. Go now.
Your brothers-in-law?
My brothers, 6 of them. All of them came to the station. I said, hey, this is cruel. You can't do this to me. They said, Sai Ram. They said, bye. Go, they said.
They pushed you and said Sai Ram.
They just pushed me and said, Sai Ram. Yeah. The train started. There was no place for me to stand in the bogie. I was standing literally on my toes, cursing them like anything. I said, no, I must go back. What? The adamant fellows, they push me into such a nasty train until tomorrow morning I have to travel. This is not going to happen. I said this. I was not able to swallow it. I said, next station I'll get down, I'll come back. Next station I wanted to come back, there was no way for me to come out.
People, too many people.
Yeah, so many, you cannot come. It's squeezed. It's closed doors. I was not able to come. Then I traveled for about 150-200 kilometers. In the night, somewhere it stopped. And in the railway station, there was no power. You can't see anything. And some people were getting in, some people were getting down. They opened the door. I thought, at least this is an opportunity, let me get out. So I came out and stood on the platform, nothing to be seen.
Which platform you are, which station?
It was Guntur or so.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Guntur or so. No electricity, no water on the train, nothing.
Middle of the night.
I got down, I was standing on the platform. From the next bogie on the door, there was some banging going on. I said, who is banging this door? I opened. There was an old woman trying to come out of that, and she said, help me, my luggage is here on the seat. I can't pull my luggage out. People are not allowing me. I said, oh, you have a seat with some luggage? Good.
Opportunity.
I said, let me keep my luggage there. My bag I put there. I pulled the lady out to give her luggage. I sat on the seat. And with great difficulty, I reached Madras. My brother-in-law picked me up. Then he put me on another train. I went to Bangalore. Somebody received me there, my brother's friend. He took me to Whitefield. For the first time in my life, I saw a degree college, Swami's ashram, everything there, and I was shocked. Degree college, such a fantastic building, because generally private colleges are all conducted in sheds.
I see.
In tin sheets, sheds. Education was business.
I see.
So they don't give any facilities to students.
Take the money?
Simply start college,
Yes.
collect money and do whatever they want. And such a beautiful college. And Saraswati statue on the building on one side, Nataraja statues and all this architecture and all that was highly fascinating. Immediately a doubt crossed my mind. This looks to be extraordinarily aristocratic.
Yes.
I come from the bottom of the society. Definitely there is no chance of getting selected. So you just enjoy your stay here for some time and walk out.
Look at the scenery.
That's you can't do anything.
For a man who was so devout, you said you had so much faith in God, it must have been so refreshing to see all the gods in front of you at a
Highly
college.
fascinated. I felt extremely happy. At least there is somebody in this country who is giving great importance to good way of life. So I was looking at all this, waiting. Suddenly there was a call. All interview candidates are called to this hall and you keep waiting here. Announcement. So we all went and waiting. Bangalore Whitefield was flooded with people. Thousands, and summer course was going on. Thousands and thousands. There was no place to park a car there on the road.
Silence.
I was wondering, who is this Satya Sai Baba, so famous? There is no place to park a car, a vehicle on the road. It is so much flooded with all these devotees. People with scarves, Sevadal scarves, running up and down. I don't know why they were running. What is it? So many people running, arranging so many things. Who is giving instructions to them? So I was overhearing. Swami said that. Swami said this, do this, do this. Who is this Swami? Simply from somewhere he goes on order.
And people run back and forth.
Back and forth. And you don't even see Swami? And how does this happen? I thought it was really a big puzzle to me. And I was totally confused. Ye sab kya ho raha hai? Then I was waiting, then they called us, we went and sat in the hall. And then they started interview somewhere, department by department. Mine, political science department, they gave me time around 11:30 or 12 o'clock. I was waiting. Meanwhile, courses started in the
summer course.
Summer course started in the auditorium. Some programs were going on. As usual, I just wanted to have my coffee. I was addicted to. Even today, I am fond of coffee. And then have a fag. It's very important to have a cigarette.
Yes.
So I looked at the hall around. I don't know anybody. They are all from different places. I introduced myself to one or two guys who said, Swami, to get a job in Swami's college is really a great good fortune and all that. I said, maybe good fortune for you, but it is essential for me to get a job.
I need the job for money.
For money, I have to take care of my wife. Otherwise, I have to beg for money from my father. If I want to go to a cinema with my wife, I have to tell my father, Father, I want to take my wife to a cinema, please give me 20 rupees. I want to avoid such a situation. So I went out, I had a cup of coffee, then I had a fag, I came back.
You had a cigarette on the grounds of the Vrindavan campus?
On the road.
On the road.
Not on the campus. Outside there were stalls on the roadside. So I went there, I had coffee, I smoked, I came back. Then somebody rushed to me, whom I got introduced a while ago. He said, you lost a wonderful opportunity, he said. I said, what opportunity I lost? Bhagavan Baba came here and he looked at all of us, he blessed all of us, and he just waved his hand to all of us and he said, I'm happy that you are all here. And then he walked out. We had a special, excellent darshan in this room, specially to all of us.
While you were having a cigarette and coffee?
On the road outside. And when this fellow said, I thought in my heart of hearts, useless fellow, I didn't lose anything. Maybe you think it is an opportunity for you. Nothing is lost for me because I don't know anything about him.
You preferred the cigarette and coffee over his darshan, his blessings.
That's it. It's like that for anybody.
Yes.
Not only for me. Anybody who doesn't know anything, you don't lose anything when you don't see him.
Of course.
Because you don't know the importance. You don't know the significance of having Bhagavan's darshan actually. And you never knew that he was God. How he was God. What is the story behind all this? I am completely blank. So I said, nothing is lost. 12 o'clock, suddenly there was an announcement. We were running behind schedule. My interview not over. They said we are running behind schedule because a lot of candidates are being interviewed for English, Hindi, Sanskrit, mathematics, physics, chemistry, political, all subjects.
So they were running behind schedule.
Behind schedule. And they said, I was shocked, I tell you. They came and said, we are behind schedule. For your department, interviews will be in the afternoon. However, Bhagwan Baba arranged lunch for all the candidates in the hostel. So you are invited for lunch by Swami. You can go there and have lunch. For a minute, I was broken, I tell you. I said, is there somebody who calls you for interview and then gives you lunch? Where in Andhra Pradesh we go for interviews, they don't care to give you a glass of water also. They don't even bother to know where you are. They don't even give a seat to actually be comfortable there. Here is somebody who invites all the candidates, so many candidates come for lunch. I said something really surprising, fascinating. And we were all escorted by Savadals to hostel. And we were all taken to dining hall in the hostel. It was holiday time for the college. Yes. Not many were there. So students were all not there, but many devotees and many students stayed back to attend summer course. They were all there. From different parts of India, people came. Summer course is it is all over India. Actually, people are invited.
Yes.
Great professors, scholars, MLAs, MPs, vice chancellors, principals. It is later on I came to know. So that was the scale of summer course in those days. So we were all sitting. They arranged seats on the floor. I said, you fellows, you take food sitting on the floor? You don't have tables? I thought to myself.
How primitive.
How primitive you are, I thought. And then anyhow, I didn't want to talk. Better you follow whatever they say. Yes. Don't question them.
And you're getting a free lunch.
Free lunch. So I went inside. I sat. They served absolute silence. So much of serenity. Everybody was in white and white. Excellent, well-mannered, extraordinary culture. Respect, mutual respect for each other, and they don't give instructions orally. They gesture to each other. Signals. Bring water, bring food, do that, do this. I said, this is amazing. This is what I was aspiring for from my childhood actually. I was trying to go to a society where it is serenity, it is calmness, it is quietness, it is the culture of the soul. I was thirsting for it. I was lost in a jungle which is called actually a society. Yes. So I felt myself very comfortable there sitting.
Absolute opposite of what you had been used to.
Exactly. So I was sitting, they served food. And then I was about to get into eating. And suddenly said, stop, don't eat. I said, you don't want me to eat?
What is this?
I said, what is this going on? Then immediately they started, Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi. Hare, fantastic, much more fascinating, I thought. I am from a Hindu family, Brahmin family. My grandfather was a Vedic scholar. My father learnt Vedas. We go to temples every day. We chant Mantra Pushpam, everything. I thought it was not made so universal in an institution like this where they pray before eating, which was our tradition.
So you had been used to these mantras being constrained or limited to your community.
Yeah.
You had not experienced this being chanted by the common public?
No.
In this way?
No. In fact, my village where I live, there was one Vedic scholar who was our Purohita in my family.
The priest in the family.
The priest in the family.
Yes.
He was a master of one Veda. Full Veda he learnt. He was called to Delhi and he was honored by Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru and he presented a gold medal to him. In my village, in my street, it is always Vedic chanting goes on. People sitting outside, they go on chanting Vedas. And from there, I used to feel sad. This is all slowly dying.
Yes.
And people are not chanting Vedas. Veda chanting itself makes the entire environment pure. That's my belief. So, When I came here and somebody started Brahmarpanam, you offer the food to Brahman, it becomes prasadam and you take it. This concept was there within me, but I never experienced outside, in outside society. Yes. And I thought, how fortunate these people are to be here. And who makes all these rules and regulations? Who is introducing this kind of system? Who is managing this? Was a fascinating thing to me. Anyhow, I finished my food. I felt extraordinary. I came. When I came, they called me for interview. The committee chairman for the interview was Suri Bhagavantam, who was the #1 top-class scientist in India, scientific advisor to Government of India, who was responsible for Raman Nobel Prize, which was given to Raman, and the work was done by Bhagavantam and the entire team. Such a great man who was translating Bhagavan's discourses in those days. He was an ardent devotee. He was there, others were there. People are scared to talk to Bhagavantam actually. He was such a very great scholar he was. Advisor to the Ministry of Defense in India, a great scientist. Then they called me for interview, I went inside. When I went inside, I found out actually there were only 5 candidates called for political science. Out of the 5, 3 fellows were MA PhDs and 1 person was MA MPhil. I was the only person with MA with 2 years experience in Loyola College.
The least qualified.
The least qualified. So I went inside. Bhagavantam Garu looked at me and they were all saying Sai Ram. I don't know that I should address them as Sai Ram. I said good morning. And then he said it was afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Then when I said good morning, immediately Bhagavantam Garu looked at me and said, this is afternoon, is it not? Why do you say good morning? He said. And then I said, there is a tradition, English tradition, which says when you meet for the first time a person, you say good morning only, you don't say good afternoon. And Bhagavantam Garu said, oh, still you are following English traditions, he said. As we are conversing in English, I thought it's better I do that. He said, you look to be a strange guy probably. So he said, come and take your seat. I said, thank you, sir. So I sat. First question was, are you a devotee of Satya Sai Baba? I said, I am not. You are not? He said. I said, I am not. Second thing, did you ever go to Prashant Nilayam? I said, I don't know where it is. You don't even know where it is? You are from Andhra Pradesh? Yes, sir. I'm honest. I don't know where it is, Prashant Nilayam. You don't know anything about Bhagavan Baba? Sir, I don't know anything about him. Then the question he asked, don't you think if you say that you don't know Bhagavan Baba, you don't know Prashant Nilayam, and you come to a college established by him to be recruited, we reject you? I said, why should you reject me? Because you call me to teach a subject. As long as I am efficient in subject and you are convinced, you would select me. And it's a question of you giving me a job, I am doing a job for you. I think, sir, being honest, you should more respect me for that.
Sairam. You use that to your advantage.
That's all. I told him, I am honest, sir. I am not hiding anything. I am presenting all the facts to you and you must be looking for somebody who is truthful and honest than simply rejecting me because I am not a devotee of Satya Sai Baba. And then he said, that's quite interesting, he said. And then he said, what is your specialization? Then I told him, Indian Constitution is my specialization. Federalism, Gandhian thought was very interesting to me. Then he was probably a specialist in Gandhian thought himself.
Yes.
And India was getting into armamentation, arming India with nuclear weapons and all that. So he asked me questions. How do you think nuclear arms would help India or not? I said, we must acquire weapons. I said, on one hand you say peace, on the other hand you say weapons, what is it?
Yes.
I said, in self-defense you need weapons. It's not that we want to attack somebody
Yes.
to defend yours. There was a big argument on that. He was a nuclear scientist working for nuclear weapons. So probably he dragged me into that.
Yes.
It was a good interview, everything got over. And then he asked me a wonderful question. He said, did you apply for junior lecturer post also? I said, yes, I applied for junior lecturer post also. He said, you are facing interview for lecturer post in the degree college. And you said you applied for junior lecturer also. And may I know why you are leaving Loyola College, which is the most reputed college in the state? I said, I'm not leaving, sir. I am being thrown out, I said.
Job is over.
Are you being thrown out? What do you mean? He said. I said, sir, I am working in a lean vacancy. Lean comes to a close by March. They may extend my job by 1 more year, sir. If the professor who went on leave, in case he doesn't return, I'll have this job for 1 more year at the most, but still it continues to be a temporary job.
So lean means temporary or relieving type post, is it?
Lean post means Government of India has got a policy. Somebody, a teacher who doesn't have a doctorate, in case he wants to do PhD, he can take leave and go to university and do PhD and come back. It takes generally 3 years. So what they do is they give him leave. After finishing PhD, you can come back and join. In these 3 years, they appoint somebody else in this position. And Loyola College, I got selected in that lean when 100 people competed for that post. That was divine grace. I always feel grateful to Jesus Christ for accepting me in his college and giving me experience for 2 years there. I never forget that. I used to pray to Jesus and say, you established this college and you, with open arms, gave me a job when I was struggling for a job and gave me a position in a reputed college. Loyola College is so famous in Andhra Pradesh. So he said, you are being thrown out of that college? He said, I'm not being thrown out. It's a lean vacancy. It's coming to a close. So, and sir, to tell you the truth, I got married in February. I'm looking for a job. I'm desperately in need of job. So I have to rush around.
There is that honesty again.
Yeah. I'm always open. With Swami, I was more open actually. So what happened, this man said, suppose I take the advantage that you are being thrown out, you don't have a job, and you are facing interview for lecturer post. But I will select you as a junior lecturer and ask you to teach degree college students. What would you do? I said, I would gladly accept it. I welcome it. He said, why? Sir, very simple logic. A junior lecturer permanent post is much better than a temporary lecturer post. Very simple logic it is. He gave a smile and said, Gangadhar Sastry, I think we will have another session with you. Next time when we see, you can go, he said. I said, thank you very much. I came out and somebody said, Bhagavan Baba is going to come now. He's going to address all the audience in the auditorium. For all the people who came to face interviews, in the front row seats are all reserved. You can go there, sit, listen to Bhagavan Baba's discourse, have nice darshan and all that. So you go there, he said. I said, sorry, my friend, I don't have time, I have to go, I said. Why? I have to go to Bangalore city, catch my train to go back to my place. Otherwise, I lose reservation. There will be no ticket for me to go. He said,
you'll be stuck here.
I'll be stuck in Bangalore and I don't have money. So I said, I need to go immediately. And he said, you are very unfortunate. Don't worry about it, I said. Because I am not losing anything, according to me.
Yes.
I said, if I am really fortunate, I would certainly see him. If I am not destined, I will not see him. That's always my logic. I came out, I was about to go. Meanwhile, thousands and thousands of people on the campus, inside the auditorium, everywhere, it was all terrible. And then people were just running across the roads. I said, what's happening? They said, Swami is coming, Swami is coming, Swami. I said, who is this Swami? They said, it is Satya Sai Baba. Oh, you call him Swami? Yeah, they said, we call him Swami. That's good, I said. So he came inside through the main entrance gate of the institute, Brindavan campus. I was exactly near the gate. I saw him through the car glass. And he was waving his hand like this. I did namaskar to him. He went to the portico. There he came out. From there he waved the hand like this. From the gate I saw him fast. From such a long distance, I did namaskar and I prayed in my heart of hearts. If you give me a job, next darshan. Otherwise, I don't know when next darshan. Sai Ram, I am going, I said. I left. I went back home. They asked me, how did it go? I said, it was good, but I tell you, I don't have hope, I said. They said, why? You don't know, Nana. I have never seen a college like that in my life. And the crowds, I tell you, Bhagavan Baba, it's magnanimous, I tell you. It's so magnanimous. You have millions of people there. Magnificent it is. I don't know how popular he is, how he is God and all that, what was happening there. I don't think I will get a job there. He must be having his own candidates there. So we were enjoying our holiday because it's summer. I went there and I was going through holidays. My job got over in April, May, June 30th. My job over. My job got over.
No more pay.
No more pay. On the last day of that day, I'm sure to receive my salary in the first week of July. On the 1st of July 79, I got a registered letter saying that I am selected as a lecturer in political science and to go and report at Prashantinilayam on the 7th of July.
Sai-Ram. One day after you ran out of money.
That's all.
Sai-Ram.
And I looked at my father and said, Dad, it is something shocking. He said, how? Just my job got over yesterday and I get a letter saying that I'm selected on 7th. That means, Nana, probably I am unemployed for 6 days.
6 days, that's all.
And when I broke the news to my in-laws, oh, they were all in tears.
Sai-Ram.
That's a divine call. So I went with great difficulty. I traveled all the way from my place to Prashantinilayam. It's a very long distance. There were a lot of problems in traveling, no direct train. So you go to Guntur, take a train to Dronachalam, from there to Dharmavaram, from there to Kottacheruvu to Puttaparthi. It is like landing on moon actually. I said this is a terrible journey. On 6th I landed there. Meanwhile, my father-in-law called one person at Prashantinilayam. He was Ammanna Sastry, who was the headmaster of Ishwarama High School at that place. He was known to my father-in-law because he was also from Tanuku. Both of them friends. He said, my son-in-law is selected there as a lecturer. He is coming. First time he is coming. Please take care of him and see to it that he settles there. I went, and from especially Dharmavaram and all the place when you move towards Puttaparthi, it is all like a desert through which you are traveling. There is not even a single house on both sides of the road. I thought somebody is kidnapping me actually. Where am I going? Hours and hours and hours travel. Where is this Prashantinilayam? At last I went, I dropped down opposite Ishwarama High School from the bus. I didn't even know that you have to cross Ishwarama High School to go to Mandir. I don't know the topography. I got down there, some students were there. I said, who is Ammanna Sastry? With my bell-bottom pant, shirt, collared pants and shirt with huge hair,
mustache,
with mush, 20 cigarettes. Gold plate king size packet in my pocket. I dropped down there.
Well equipped.
Well equipped. Somebody went and called Ammanna Sastry Garu. Ammanna Sastry Garu came, looked at me and got shocked. You are Vishweshwar Rao's son-in-law? He said. I said, why? Why are you so shocked? He said, what is this form? He said. I said, why? Hey, if I take you like this and put you in the veranda in front of Swami, I'll be beheaded, he said, for bringing a creature like you.
Creature.
Yeah. So he called teachers. 2 teachers he called. It's extraordinary discipline there. It's more than military discipline there. He called teachers and said, take this fellow to a barber shop. I was shocked. Why do you take me to a barber shop? You have to take me to your house.
Yes.
Said, you just shut your mouth, he said. You don't talk. You listen to me, he said. And drag this fellow, give him a nice haircut, trim his mush. Do you have a light color pant and shirt? He said, yeah, I have 1 or 2 light color pants and shirts. Very light. I don't have white color pants and shirts. We are from the outside world, they don't prefer to wear white at all, first of all. So I have, you wear that pant and shirt. I will take you, I will introduce you to the newly appointed principal of the college. He will take you wherever you are to be taken. I said, thank you. I said, but I was really shocked. I said, how can you drag me to a barber shop? This is not at all acceptable. Yeah. But they dragged me physically. They gave me a good haircut, trimmed my mush, gave me a wonderful bath so that I don't stink. They took me with my collar pant and shirt, introduced me to one very great man called Amarendra. Amarendra Garu was a very great scholar in English and Telugu from Guntur. He was the principal of a college at Guntur. He was appointed as the principal of Satyasai Arts, Science and Commerce College at Prashantinilayam by Swami. He's a very gentle man, highly experienced, highly spiritual, highly accomplished English professor. So I went. And they took me. Before darshan, they put me in the VIP's veranda behind the principal. I believe that was what happening with all other lecturers also who approached slowly. They were all taken, put in the veranda one after another. That day it was my turn. Opposite interview room, I was behind the principal, sitting. It was such a deadly silence, I tell you. I said, what is this silence? Why nobody is talking? Or talk something, say how they said, don't talk. Thousands of devotees are there sitting. Thousands are sitting in the veranda. In the VIP veranda, MLAs, MPs, ministers, governors. He was going to inaugurate a college. So lots and lots of people. Nobody talks. I said, how can one person keep so many thousands and thousands of people silent like this without talking? I said, when he will come? I said, there's no time. No time? He comes at his will, yeah, and he makes you shut your mouth. I said, this is all strange. It's a strange phenomena to me. I was sitting behind principal. I was not able to hold myself actually. And I scratched the principal. I want to talk something. He said, shut up, he said. So I said, okay. He opened the door. For the first time I saw Swami from close quarters. The minute I saw, I don't know what happened to me. I said, I think this is the destination of my life. Yes, I reached it. Now I don't know whether he'll accept me or not. That is the only question that was bothering me. Let me see. Then Swami opened the doors. Everybody was doing namaskar. I was also doing namaskar. Swami said, like this.
To you?
From such a distance. Not to me. He just did like this. Principal in front of me got up, dashed like a dart. Why this fellow is running so mad? You can walk, comfort. You are old fellow, don't run, you will fall. He went there. He was on his knees. Looked at Swami and he whispered something. He whispered something. I was not, you can speak loudly, I could also hear. Some whispering went on. Swami went away from ladies' side, turned to the gents' side. He came back. He talked to some chosen people in the veranda here and there. With some people, he disappeared into the interview room. Everybody got up. My principal said, get up. I said, okay, got up. I said, what is this? I asked. This is called darshan, he said. Oh, this is darshan? Oh, as we go to temple, have darshan of Sivalinga. Yeah. Oh, this is kind of darshan. You have darshan of a person here.
Yes, living
said,
darshan.
Living darshan. I said, it's good. I said, I need to talk to you. Come out, he said. So I went. Swami called and asked me about you. He said, about you? He could have called me. I would have spoken to him, I said. He said, you shut your mouth. Listen to me, he said. Sir, tell me, I said. He said, is he the newly selected lecturer here to join? He said. Then I told him, Swami, he is going to join the political science department and he'll join tomorrow as per orders. I believe Swami told him, don't take joining report from him tomorrow. You take it on the 14th of this month.
After 1 week.
After 1 week. I said, why should it be like that? He said, don't ask why. Why doesn't exist here, he said. Oh, what do you want me to do? I said, you wait. I will take joining report only on the 14th. Then I said, sir, is it that you rescind the order, the present order now, and issue a fresh order saying that I will join on 14th? He said, no, we don't give any fresh orders. This order becomes invalid, actually speaking, because I am not joining on the 7th. And how would you take it technically right on your part to take a joining report on the 14th? Said, no technicalities and all that. It is Swami's word and that is order. I thought you are a mad guy, number one, I said. This doesn't happen in the world. He said, you wait. I said, why? He said, you wait here because Swami will call you and he'll give you interview tomorrow. I said, how do you know? He said, generally that is the process. When a new person comes, he would talk. I said, I am not interested. I am going back home. He said, you don't want interview? I said, no, I am not interested. I have to go and I'll bring my wife. So you ensure that I'm going to join on 14th. My wife cannot travel all the way alone. There is nobody to bring her and drop her here.
Yes.
So it is better I go back and bring my wife. No, Ganga Sastry, listen to me. It is better that you stay back. And the Swami will give you interview, then you do whatever you like. I said, to pacify him, I said, it's okay. I'll stay, I said. I went out, booked a ticket and just ran away back to Tanugu. When I went, my people were shocked. They saw me and said, did you lose your job? I said, no, I didn't lose. They wanted me to join on 14th. Then they said, okay. So I came with my wife on 14th. 13th I landed. I put my luggage in Ishwaram High School headmaster's house.
Yes.
I came to the veranda. I was sitting. That day morning was my first encounter with Bhagavan Baba.
Direct encounter.
Direct. He opened the entry room door, straight came to me and stopped in front of me and said, "Eppudu vachcharu?" When did you come? He asked. I stood up straight in front of him and said, today morning I came, sir, I said.
Sir.
And he said, is that so, sir? I said, yes, sir, I said. Then he asked me, where did you keep your luggage? I said, do you know Ishwarama High School? I asked him.
Do you know?
Yeah. Do you know Ishwarama High School? I asked him. Oh my God, he laughed so loud, the whole veranda people, started, they were lost completely. And I was speaking so loud, everybody was able to, even darshan line people were able to listen to me. I was talking like this. Then he said, I know Ishwarama High School principal, Amana Sastry. He is from my place. My father-in-law and Amana Sastry are good friends. So my father-in-law asked me to go and be in touch with him, put my luggage in his house. It's there. And then he said, do you know Amana Sastry? I asked him. Yeah, I know Amana Sastry also, like an innocent person, he said. Then he said, okay, everything is good. Where is your luggage? He said, you know that wall? On the other side of the wall, you have some quarters, Janakaramaya quarters, and my luggage is all there in Amana Shastri's house. Then Swami said, if I give you accommodation inside, would you come? I said, what do you mean by inside? He said, inside means on the other side of the wall it is Puttaparthi. Inside the wall it is Prashant Nilayam. I will give you accommodation inside because in here you need. Would you come? I said, I am looking for accommodation because it is very important for me. And then Swami tells me, you are recently married and you came with your wife. You need accommodation. I said, who told you I got married and I brought my wife? These are all revelations slowly. Then he called Kutumbrao, secretary, come here. He was standing near the Dashavataram gate. He rushed like principal yesterday. He just rushed, he was on knees. And Swami said, Kutumbrao, who is staying in East Prashanti C11 in that room, who is staying? Swami, the owner is coming. Ask the owner to go to shed. Give that room to this man. And send coolies. Get it cleaned up immediately. Send people to give his luggage. Coolies will pick your luggage. Bring both he and his wife to be accommodated there. Get them breakfast. Get them. You are my God, and that's all, Swami. My salvation lies in serving you and your lotus feet. That's all. So take care of me. After that, what all things happened, extraordinarily fascinating things happened. Fascinating. All my experiences, probably no one would even believe if I explain or talk about those experiences. And I'm the only one from my family. My father never came. Though my mother came, she was not very much devoted. My elder brother doesn't come. My second brother was no more. My younger brother, even today, he doesn't come. My sister, my brother-in-law, no one is there from my family. And Swami, in the first interaction, he said, when did you come? I told you, today morning I came, sir, he said. Then immediately he said, do you think you came? I said, it's a puzzling question. What do you mean by you? I came, Swami. I said, I came, sir. This morning I came, sir, I said. Immediately Swami said, you did not come. Sir, I came, I said. Immediately he said, no, you didn't come. You are brought here by me. I brought you here. I brought you here. I have some work with you. And you are not going to like this place for some days to come. You will feel suffocated here. You would love very much to leave this place and go away. However, you are free to try Whatever method you want to leave this place, you will not be able to leave. For your life, you are fixed here to serve me. Then for a second, I thought he's mad. What are you talking, Swami? I am decided to, I appeared for IAS once before coming to Swami. In 14 marks, I lost it. So I wanted to get into IAS once again. And later on, finally, he said to me, you wanted to be IAS, is it not? Yes, Swami. I made you SAI. Why do you want IAS?
Sairam, sir, as Swami said, you did not come, he brought you, and he brought you here to us. So unfortunately, we are out of time, and we will end there and look forward to more experiences from you later
But with
on.
one more comment from me,
Yes.
1 minute. It is not that only me that was brought to Swami, everyone. It is my belief that you are brought to him. You would never go to him on your own. It is impossible because Swami made a declaration to the entire world. No one would ever be able to come to Prashantinayam unless I will it. Then only it is possible. Try, he said. I know many relations who tried to come to Parthi. They could not come for decades. For 3-4 decades. They today repent. They didn't see Swami in physical form. So all over the world, people are all brought by him. He said, I am like a sugar candy, attracting people like ants get attracted. I attract people from all corners of the globe. Is it not fascinating? A boy, school dropout from Puttaparthi, declaring himself as God, inviting millions and millions of people to Puttaparthi, establishing a huge spiritual mission like this, giving opportunities to people to sanctify their lives.
Just for us.
How could you not believe him to be God? No one else would ever be able to do this. So this is what I contemplate on every minute. So you are also, all of you are brought into that fold. Don't think you came into that fold.
So, thank you so much
I
for
thank
the
you.
time and for being so open with us and sharing such beautiful experiences.
Yeah. Now in the session I'm going to talk
Tell us
about,
more.
today the topic itself is my fascinating experiences with Swami. Maybe they will allow me to talk only for 1 hour or so, during which time I will be able to share hardly 4 or 5 experiences, that's all.
Perhaps, if I may make a suggestion, maybe you can continue from this point in sharing your experiences there.
Sure.
So that people can watch this on video.
Yeah.
And then the remaining experiences they can watch on the stage.
We will do that.
Yes, let's do
Thank
that.
you very,
Thank
very
you
much.
so much, sir.
So very kind of you.
Thank you.